You are an addict. You are addicted to the now. You want the money now. You want the body now. You want the status now. You scroll through your phone because you lack the discipline to wait 10 minutes for a movie plot to develop. You check your stock portfolio 50 times a day because you lack the discipline to wait a single quarter for an earnings report. You jump from business idea to business idea because you didn't become a millionaire in your first week. You are vibrating with impatience, and that vibration is the sound of your wealth evaporating. You think patience is boring. You think patience is passive. You think patience is what old people do when they have run out of energy. You are wrong. Patience is the most violent, aggressive force in the universe. Patience is the mountain that waits for the rain to erode the stone. The mountain doesn't move, but the mountain wins. Patience is the sniper lying in the freezing mud for 3 days, slowing his heart rate, not moving a single muscle, waiting for the one perfect shot. The amateur shoots at shadows and misses. The amateur runs out of ammo. The sniper waits, and the sniper kills. Today, we are going to perform surgery on your time preference. We are going to explain why your brain is hardwired to be poor and how the only way to get rich is to override your own biology. Let's look at the evolutionary trap. You have to understand where you came from. Your brain was built in the Pleistocene era. In the savannah 100,000 years ago, the future did not exist. There was no retirement fund. There was no next year. There was no compound interest. There was only lunch, death. If you killed a gazelle, you had to eat it now. You couldn't save it for 10 years. The meat would rot. The bacteria would take it. If you saw a mate, you had to pursue them now. You might be dead by tomorrow. A predator might take you. A rival might take them. Your brain evolved to discount the future heavily. This is a mechanism called hyperbolic discounting. It means that in your mind, the value of a reward falls off a cliff the further away it is in time. Your brain values $100 today, significantly more than $200 next year. Mathematically, that is stupid. $200 is objectively more than $100, but biologically, it was smart because in the wild, next year is not guaranteed. But here is the tragedy of your existence. You are no longer on the savannah. You are in a modern economy where the meat doesn't rot. Money stores value indefinitely, and statistically, you will live to be 80. Your software, the brain, is obsolete for your hardware, the economy. You are running Caveman 1.0 in a Capitalism 2.0 world. The caveman eats the seed corn because he is hungry right now. The capitalist plants the seed corn because he wants a harvest next year. Most of you are still eating the seeds, and you wonder why you have no harvest. This brings us to the concept of time preference. This is the single most accurate predictor of your social class. High time preference is the mindset of poverty. It says, I need it now. Impulse buying, payday loans, fast food, substance abuse. The focus is entirely on the immediate sensation. The future is a fog that you cannot see through. Low time preference is the mindset of wealth. It says, I can wait. Saving, investing, building skills, fasting. The focus is on the distant horizon. The present is merely a tool to build the future. Civilization itself is nothing more than the process of lowering our collective time preference. A savage finds a fruit and eats it immediately. A civilized man finds a seed. He plants it. He waters it. He protects it from pests. He builds a fence around it. He waits for months. He starves today so he can feast tomorrow. This is the sacrifice. You cannot be rich without sacrifice. And the currency of sacrifice is time. Think about the marshmallow test. You know the famous study. A researcher puts a child in a room with a single marshmallow. He tells the child, if you can wait 15 minutes without eating this, I will give you 2 marshmallows. The researcher leaves the room. The child struggles. He smells it. He touches it. His biology is screaming at him to consume. The kid who eats it immediately grows up to be impulsive, has a lower income, a higher BMI, and a higher divorce rate. The kid who waits grows up to be successful. The stock market is a giant global marshmallow test. Every single day, the market offers you a marshmallow. Sell now, it whispers. Take the small profit. Buy the nice car. Relieve the anxiety. And every day, the 1% stare at the marshmallow and do nothing. They wait for the second marshmallow, and the third, and the 100th. Warren Buffett is not a genius stock picker. He is not a wizard. He is simply a man who is willing to stare at a marshmallow for 60 years without eating it. His superpower is not IQ. His superpower is duration. Now let's visualize the mathematics of the exponential. Human brains are linear. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We expect progress to look like a straight line walking up a hill. Compound interest is exponential. It goes 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. You cannot intuitively grasp this. If you fold a piece of paper in half, it gets twice as thick. If you fold it again, 4 times as thick. If you fold a standard piece of paper 42 times, how thick is it? Your linear brain guesses. Maybe a few meters? Maybe the height of a building? The answer is, it reaches the moon. That is the power of compounding. But notice something critical. The first 10 folds are boring. You barely see the thickness change. It looks like nothing is happening. The first 20 folds unfolds are boring. You are still dealing with a thin stack of paper. The magic only happens at the very end. The curve goes vertical. It creates a hockey stick shape. You are quitting at full number 20. You invest for 2 years. You see small results. You say, this is slow. This sucks. Crypto is faster. Dropshipping is faster. So you pull your money out. You unfold the paper and you start over with a new strategy. You interrupt the compounding. Interruption is the 8th deadly sin. Every time you switch strategies, every time you sell to take profits too early, you are resetting the clock. You are killing the exponential curve in its infancy. You are committing financial abortion on your future wealth. Imagine you plant a Chinese bamboo tree. You plant the seed, you water it, you fertilize the soil. For 1 year, nothing happens. No sprout, just dirt. For 2 years, nothing happens. For 3 years, nothing happens. Your neighbors walk by and laugh. You are watering dirt, you idiot. Nothing is growing. You are wasting your time. You keep watering. You keep believing. For 4 years, nothing. Then, in the 5th year, a tiny sprout breaks the soil. And in the next 6 weeks, that sprout grows 90 feet tall. Now ask yourself, did it grow 90 feet in 6 weeks? No, it grew 90 feet in 5 years and 6 weeks. If you had stopped watering at year 4 because you were impatient, because you didn't see results, you would have nothing. The tree would be dead underground. You are in year 3 of your business or year 2 of your portfolio. You are looking at the dirt. You are depressed. It's not working, you say. It is working. The roots are building the massive foundation required to support 90 feet of vertical growth. But you, with your dopamine-addicted monkey brain, you want the 90 feet now. So you dig up the seed to check if it's growing, and by digging it up, you kill it. This is the get-rich-quick paradox. Trying to get rich quick is the mathematically fastest way to stay poor. Why? Because speed requires risk. To double your money in a month, you have to take ruin risk. You have to use leverage. You have to gamble on volatile assets, and eventually, the zero hits. The market turns against you, and because you were rushing, you get wiped out. Patience removes ruin risk. If you buy the S&P 500 and wait 40 years, your chance of losing money is effectively zero. Your chance of being a millionaire is 100%. But you don't want to be a millionaire in 40 years. You want it next Tuesday. So you trade options. You buy meme coins. You gamble and you lose. Then you try again and you lose again. You spend 40 years trying to beat the system and you end up broke. If you had just accepted the boring path from day one, you would have won. Impatience is a tax on arrogance. You think you are smarter than time. You are not. Time is the ultimate master. Let's talk about the boredom filter. Investing should be like watching paint dry. It should be like watching grass grow. If you are excited, you are gambling. If your heart is racing when you open your brokerage app, you are over-leveraged. The great filter of wealth is boredom. Can you do the same boring thing? Buy, hold, wait, over and over again for decades? Most people can't. They need novelty. They need action. They need a story. They treat the market like an entertainment center. I'm bored with this stock. It hasn't moved in a month. So they sell it and buy something that is moving. They are paying for entertainment with their net worth. The rich are bored and they are rich. The poor are entertained and they are poor. You have to choose one. You cannot be both. You need to understand that wealth is transfer. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. That is the only game being played. Every time you panic sell because the news is scary, who buys? The patient. Every time you chase a pump because you feel FOMO, who sells to you? The patient, who bought it years ago. You are the liquidity for the patient man. You are the food for the lion. Stop being the food. This requires a rewiring of the dopamine system. You have to learn to get high on inaction. You have to learn to look at your portfolio, see it do absolutely nothing and say, good, the roots are growing. You have to learn to detach your emotional state from the red and green flashes on the screen. This is difficult. This is unnatural. But you are not here to be natural. Natural is to be a naked ape shivering in the rain, afraid of the thunder. You are here to be supernatural. You are here to transcend your biology. You are here to master time. We are just getting started. We have identified the enemy, your own evolutionary need for speed. Now we need to look at the mechanics of the wait. How do you actually do it? How do you sit on your hands when the world is burning? How do you distinguish between patience and stubbornness? Because you cannot wait if you don't believe. We established that waiting is the weapon, but do not mistake waiting for laziness. There is a massive difference between a monk meditating in a cave and a bum sleeping on a bench. They both look like they are doing nothing, but inside, the monk is fighting a war against his own mind. The bum is just asleep. You must be the monk. Let's talk about the activity bias. In every other area of life, more effort, more result. If you want bigger muscles, holes, you lift more weights. If you want to dig a deeper hole, you shovel faster. So you bring this logic to investing. You think, if I want more money, I must look at more charts. I must trade more often. I must read more news. This is fatal. In investing, more effort, less result. The more you touch your portfolio, the lower your returns. This is a statistical fact. Fidelity conducted a study on their best performing accounts. Do you know who owned them? Dead people. Literally. The accounts with the highest returns belong to people who had died and forgot to tell the bank. Why? Because dead people don't panic sell. Dead people don't try to time the top. Dead people have maximum patience. Your goal is to replicate the behavior of a corpse while still being alive. This is incredibly hard. It requires you to suppress your fight or flight instinct every single day. When the market crashes 20%, your biology screams, run! You have to sit on your hands and say, no, that is not laziness. That is emotional weightlifting. That is the hardest work you will ever do. But there is a trap here, a deadly trap. We must distinguish between patience and stubbornness. Or to put it brutally, are you a value investor or are you just a bag holder? Because sitting on a pile of garbage for 10 years will not turn it into gold. It will just turn into compost. How do you tell the difference? You look at the thesis, not the price. A patient investor holds because the business is getting better, even if the stock price is going down. He looks at the cash flow. He looks at the dominance. He sees that the market is wrong. A bag holder holds because he refuses to take a loss. He looks at the price he paid and he prays for it to go back up to break even so he can exit. He is not holding the asset. He is holding his own ego. He cannot admit he was wrong. It will come back, he whispers. This is not patience. This is denial. The patient investor reevaluates every day. If I didn't own this today, would I buy it? If the answer is yes, he waits. The bag holder doesn't ask questions. He just hopes. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is the surrender of reason. If you are holding an asset purely because you are down 50% and you don't want to crystallize the loss, you are not being patient. You are being slaughtered. Cut the cancer. Save the capital. Plant a new seed. Now let's talk about the enemy of compounding, lifestyle creep. You think the enemy is the market crash? No, the market crash is temporary. The enemy is the new car you bought when you got a raise. This is the math that keeps you poor. Let's say you invest $10,000 at 10% interest. In 40 years, that is $450,000. Now imagine you take that $10,000 and buy a used BMW because you deserve it. You didn't just spend $10,000. You killed $450,000 of your future wealth. That car didn't cost you 10 grand. It cost you nearly $500,000. Was the leather seat worth $500,000? This is opportunity cost. Every dollar you spend on consumer garbage today is a soldier you are executing before it can capture territory for you. You are murdering your army. The rich understand this. When a rich man wants a Porsche, he doesn't buy it with his salary. He buys an asset, like an apartment building. He waits. The asset pays him rent. He uses the rent to buy the Porsche. His principal capital remains untouched. His army is still alive. He just spent the spoils of war. You eat the army. You get a bonus. You spend the bonus. You are back to zero. You have to reset the clock every time. This is why you are tired. You are running on a treadmill. Patience means delaying the reward until the asset can buy it for you. Can you drive a Honda for 5 more years so that you can drive a Ferrari for the rest of your life? Most of you can't. You need the status signal now. And because you need the signal now, you will be a slave forever. You look rich, but you are broke. The goal is to look broke, but be free. Let's reframe the dip. When the market drops, you feel pain. You see red numbers. You think, I am losing money. Change your frame. Imagine you are a shopper. You walk into a supermarket. Suddenly, an announcement comes on. Everything is 30% off. Do you panic? Do you run out of the store screaming, my groceries are losing value? No. You grab a cart. You load up. You buy steaks. You buy wine. You celebrate. The market crashes the sale. When the price of Amazon or Bitcoin drops 30%, that is the market putting the greatest assets in human history on the clearance rack. The patient investor loves the crash. He has been waiting for it. He has been sitting on cash like a sniper, waiting for the panic. When the herd is selling, he is buying. He is taking the shares from the weak hands. He is the wolf eating the sick gazelles. But to do this, you must be a contrarian. You must be willing to look stupid. When you buy during a crash, everyone will tell you, it's going to zero. You are catching a falling knife. You have to have the stomach to say, you are wrong. And then you have to wait. You might be early. The price might drop another 20%. The bag holder panics and sells. The patient investor buys more. He knows the value. He ignores the price. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. If you know the value, the price is irrelevant noise. Let's discuss the time arbitrage. This is your only edge against the AI. We talked about the algorithms. They trade in microseconds. They cannot look 10 years into the future. Their code is not designed for that. They are designed for quarterly earnings. Wall Street is obsessed with next quarter. quarter. If a company says, we are going to lose money for 3 years to build a massive new factory that will dominate the world in 10 years, Wall Street sells the stock. Bad earnings, they scream. The stock drops. This is your moment. You can engage in time arbitrage. You can say, I don't care about next quarter. I care about 2035. You buy the stock that Wall Street hates because Wall Street is short-sighted. You hold it through the bad years. And when the factory opens and the dominance begins, Wall Street comes running back to buy it at 10x the price. You sell it to them. You won because you played a different game. They played the 3-month game. You played the 10-year game. The person with the longest time horizon always wins. Always. But waiting is painful. It is physically painful. Your brain generates cortisol when you see your peers getting rich on fast things. Your friend bought a meme coin and made $50,000 in a week. You have been holding an index fund for 3 years and made $10,000. You feel like an idiot. He is smarter than me, you think. No, he won the lottery. And what happens to lottery winners? They lose it all. Because he didn't learn the skill of wealth, he just got lucky. He will bet that $50,000 on the next meme coin and he will go to zero. Easy come, easy go. Money that comes fast leaves fast. It has no loyalty. Money that comes slow stays. It has roots. Do not envy the gambler. Pity him. He is experiencing a dopamine spike that will destroy his ability to do real work. He is ruined. You are building the foundation. Stay on the path. Consider the bamboo farmer again. What is he doing during those 5 years of staring at the dirt? He is not just waiting. He is sharpening his machete. He is building the storage barn. He is preparing for the harvest. Patience is active preparation. While you wait for your investments to compound, you must be aggressively increasing your income. You don't just sit there, you work. You pour more fuel onto the fire. The more cash you can throw into the compounding machine, the faster it spins. Patience with the assets, aggression with the income. That is the dual strategy. Be a monk with your portfolio. Be a warrior with your career. Most people get this backwards. They are aggressive with their portfolio, gambling, and passive with their career, laissez. Flip it. Be boring with your money. Be dangerous with your skills. The cost of inaction is an illusion. I'm missing out, you scream. No, you are avoiding the landmines. Warren Buffett says, the stock market is a no-call strike game. You don't have to swing at everything. You can wait for your pitch. The crowd is swinging at every pitch. They are striking out. You are standing at the plate, pat on your shoulder, waiting, waiting, waiting. The crowd boos. Swing, you coward. You ignore them. Then, the perfect pitch comes. Right down the middle, fat and slow, a market crash, a panicked sell-off of a great asset, crack. You swing with everything you have. You hit the home run. And then, you go back to waiting. That is the art. It is 99% boredom, 1% extreme violence. Are you capable of that? Can you handle the boredom? Can you handle the booing of the crowd? If you can, you own the world. If you can't, enjoy your 2% annual return after fees and taxes. So, we arrive at the end game. Why are we doing this? Why are we suffering through the boredom? Why are we depriving ourselves of the instant pleasure of spending money today? Is it just to have a bigger number on a screen when we are 60? Is it to be the richest corpse in the graveyard? No. We are waiting because we are buying something that is not for sale in any store. We are buying autonomy. We are buying the power to say no. There is a concept called fuck you money. It is not about having a yacht. It is not about a private jet. It is about the moment when your boss tells you to do something unethical or stupid or degrading, and you can look him in the eye and say no. You can say no because you have a pile of capital sitting in the background, working for you, covering your expenses. You are not desperate. You are not living paycheck to paycheck. The patient man cannot be coerced. The patient man cannot be bullied. The impatient man is a slave. He has to say yes because he needs the money by Friday. He spent his future, so now he must sell his dignity. Patience is the currency of freedom. Every dollar you save and invest is a minute of your freedom that you are buying back from the system. When you realize this, the sacrifice of not buying the new car doesn't feel like pain. It feels like victory. You didn't deny yourself a car. You purchased 5 years of freedom. That is a trade a wise man makes every single time. Now let's talk about the Lindy effect. This is the most powerful mental model for the patient investor. We are obsessed with the new tech, new coins, new paradigms, but the laws of time say that the old is superior. The Lindy effect states, for non-perishable things like ideas or technologies, the life expectancy is proportional to its current age. If a book has been in print for 50 years, it will likely be in print for another 50. If a book came out today, it will likely be forgotten in a year. If gold has been money for 5,000 years, it will likely be money for another 5,000. If a crypto token was invented last week, it will likely be zero next week. The patient investor bets on the Lindy assets. He bets on the things that have already survived the war. Coca-Cola has survived survived world wars, depressions, pandemics, and inflation. It is a Lindy company. The hot new tech stock has survived nothing. It is a soft child. Why do you bet your life savings on the soft child? Because you are greedy. You want the 100x return, but the soft child usually dies. The patient investor buys the old guard. He buys the survivors. It is boring. It is slow, but it is inevitable. Time is a filter. It filters out the weak. If something has survived for decades, it has proven it is strong. Align yourself with the survivors. Let's talk about the mushroom versus the oak. A mushroom grows overnight. It pops up after a rainstorm. It looks big. It looks impressive, but it has no roots. A child can kick it over, and in 3 days it rots and vanishes. An oak tree takes 50 years to mature. It grows slowly, painfully, but its roots go deep. A storm cannot knock it over. A child cannot kick it over. It lives for 300 years. Most success you see on Instagram is mushroom success. It happened fast. It looks flashy, but it has no roots. One market correction, one algorithm change, one lawsuit, and they are gone. Rotting in the dirt, you are building an oak. Do not envy the mushroom. The mushroom is destined to die. When you see the 20-year-old millionaire, do not feel jealousy. Feel pity. He has the money, but he hasn't built the character to keep it. The weight of the gold will crush him. You are building the character first. You are building the roots. So when the money comes, you can stand tall. This brings us to the great filter. I told you that 99% of people will fail at this. Why? Because evolution designed you to fail. Evolution designed you to run from pain and chase pleasure. In investing, pain is profit, pleasure is loss. It feels good to buy high when everyone is celebrating. It feels bad to sell low. It feels bad to buy low when everyone is screaming. It feels good to sell high. To win, you must do the uncomfortable thing. You must walk into the fire. When the market is crashing and the news is talking about the end of the world and your stomach is churning, you must buy, and then you must wait. You must sit in the darkness and wait for the dawn. Most people run for the exit. They capitulate. They sell at the bottom to stop the pain. They fail the marshmallow test. The market is a mechanism for finding out who can handle pain. If you can handle the pain of inaction and the pain of fear, you get the money. If you can't, the market takes your money and gives it to someone who can. So what is the final strategy? Become the time lord. Stop living in Chronos time, the ticking clock, the deadline, the frantic rush. Start living in Kairos time, deep time, meaningful time. Zoom out. Stop looking at the one-day chart. Look at the 10-year chart. On the one-day chart, it is a disaster. On the 10-year chart, it is a straight lineup. Which chart are you living in? The news lives in the one-day chart. The anxiety lives in the one-day chart. The wealth lives in the 10-year chart. Change your resolution. When you zoom out, the volatility disappears. The noise disappears. There is only the steady, relentless march of human progress and compounding capital. You have a choice today. Option A. You continue to be a dopamine junkie. You chase the pump. You panic at the dump. You spend what you earn. You try to look rich today. Result. You will work until the day you die. You will be a slave to the system. You will be fragile. Option B. You declare war on your biology. You embrace the boredom. You embrace the suck. You buy. You hold. You shut up. You wait. Result. You will wake up one day, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 15, and you will realize that you are unbreakable. You will realize that your money makes more money than you do. You will realize that you own your time, and that is the only true definition of wealth. The bamboo seed is in the ground. You have watered it. Now the hardest part begins. You must stand there watching the dirt while the world laughs at you. Let them laugh. They are laughing at a future giant. They are laughing at the oak. Stand your ground. Hold the line. Wait. The harvest is coming, and it will be magnificent.